I don't even have a mic on this.
Oh, I don't have the mic. I'm sorry.
Well, good morning, guys. Dane and Judy here. We're off for a nice little walk. Martine is kind of with us. He's over here somewhere. Come on, boy. Martine. Come here, boy. He smells other dogs, I think, down there. Anyway, it's one of these overcast but cool and comfortable days. See some of it behind me as well as in front of us where we're headed. Nice big pretty blue patch here to the west. Pretty sure it's all going to come to the east here and have some pretty intense sunshine soon. But we're just taking a 3-day weekend out here, relaxing, doing some chores. Hope you guys are all having a great weekend too. So I just wanted to say cheers.
Cheers!
For nature preserve life. Hi guys. Yeah, Judy, Martine, and I are doing our little walk, and we saw some excitement on the horizon, so we had to walk over and take a peek and show you new construction going on in Deer Canyon Nature Preserve here. Martine over there having fun exploring. You can kind of see the little red flags along here. That's marking the electrical that's buried, and it comes across the road through here. And over here you can see our electrical boxes that are part of Central New Mexico Power Cooperative. I think they call it Electrical Cooperative. But you can see the neighbor here is they're digging and getting ready to trench the power, probably from right through here down into the bottom of this trench, and then put it in the same trench the water's coming through. And I'll just show you across their driveway here, they've got that water line buried, and it comes out over here where the little culvert for the water main there is right down here in the hole. Maybe better, my shadow might have been covering it, but yeah, they got the excavator, bulldozer to start building a driveway up there, and their build site's up here. This is what it kind of looks like in initial phases of site prep, they call it, when you're building your place. Uh-oh. I see that way down there. There's a little dog running away from us. Martine! Come here, boy. Here he comes. You guys see that? Run, dog, run. Or as Dr. Seuss said, I think it was go, dog, go. How you doing, boy? For those that don't know, Martine's a Jack Russell, long-haired Jack Russell. Yep. He looks like he's pretty much purebred from what we've seen in the pictures we've Googled. We picked him up from the Albuquerque Animal Shelter. It's a nice little city service that the city of Albuquerque provides to take in these animals. They think they're adoptable, and so we gave Martine a good little home, and we're real happy with him. He's been a good little guy. And here, guys, is something that's very common in the Southwest. These nice, big, giant little ant farms here. I remember as a kid having those little ant farms that you'd look at in the glass and watch them do their work. But out here in the nature preserve, you can see it firsthand out in the wild. Ain't this cool? Look at these guys. Just so busy. They have another little hole here. And another little hole that they go in and out of. Okay, coming to the end of our little hike this morning. And that's another beautiful day on the nature preserve. And Martine, he's getting ahead of us. He knows his way home there. Anyway, Judy asked me what I want for my 63rd birthday. And it was yesterday, so since I had the day off and it'd be a 3-day weekend, the obvious answer is let's go out to the nature preserve and grill some steaks.
Oh, happy day.
Okay, thanks for coming along, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
What you doing, Martine? Hi, yours. You tell everybody hi? Yeah?
Hi guys, another little repair job here. Seems like there's never an end, but out in the nature preserve here, we've got radiant heat, floor heat here, and now it's almost summertime, so this is a perfect time for me to take this little project on. I've been meaning to get to it. Hopefully I can get it all rebuilt long before winter hits, but this is what I'm up to in the garage. We got a manifold that these two little pins here are hardly moving at all, and they don't work anything like these other three do. So what I want to do, because we've already did this last year with the help of our local plumber here, he and his wife, they tore all of these apart on the manifold, checked every one of them, did the little repair jobs on some of them that needed it, and then we put them back in place, the ones that didn't. These two now, of course, are just hardly budging at all. So instead of messing around with trying to clean them and redo everything again just to have us back to where we're at today, I'm going to just pop these out and order replacement parts that go in here, these little shaft pieces that we showed in a prior video about this. Anyway, I've got both inlet and outlet shut off on the ball valves coming into this manifold, so hopefully we won't lose hardly any fluid. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and hopefully we won't have to do any kind of purging of the system. We'll see. If I lose a lot of water, I think I'm going to have to. But I've double checked the pressure, where the pressure gauge is at, so I know we're supposed to be back at 12 psi with that. Anyway, we'll see what happens when I pop these open. Okay guys, so had to use this big breakout bar to get the leverage on here to pop these off, but it basically seemed to work, and by shutting them off early, I only lost maybe a teaspoon of water. It was very little, maybe 2 teaspoons. And then of course I'm able to use the other 19 millimeter to finish popping these out, unscrewing them. I'm hoping I can just find replacement parts for 10, 20, 30 bucks, whatever, online. If not, I know a little store in town that might just have these. Anyway, they are just frozen here. As I remember, we take this little nut off here, and that'll pop this whole shaft out, and we can look at it some more. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. This is the little valve body here for the manifold that I pulled out, those two earlier, that I found online, a couple of them to replace it with, because you see these have a longer shaft that's working properly when you pull it out. Well, I have a hard time pulling it out, I guess, with one hand. But I went ahead and placed them in, and that's an isolated little room back there that those two lines were on. So I was able to put them in, test them, make sure that these things closed and opened all the way properly while I was testing it with the thermostat and the boiler to make sure it was able to heat the water, circulate it to these two particular lines on this manifold that the thermostat was on. and that they work correctly. The only problem I had initially was this little O-ring right here. Probably hard to see it, but that little black O-ring right there. The new ones was a little thinner, and despite how tight I put it in, it would still spring a little leak. So I went ahead and swapped it with some of the old ones that were still in good shape, and then it sealed real tight and real good. And the whole test I ran had correct results, because some of these are designed backwards, where the when the signal goes to them to open up or close or whatever, sometimes it can be the opposite. So luckily these weren't, they actually worked correctly. And so what I did is I left those two in there, and then I went ahead and ordered like another 20 or so to do the rest of them throughout the house here. So I've replaced all of them too now with these nice new ones with the long flexible shaft that works correctly. So I'm hoping it'll last quite a few years before I gotta address some that start sticking again. I have some spares that are brand new still, so I'll be able to swap them out too. But I'll flip around and show you what I have for what came out. You can see here, a lot of the old ones here. They're kind of stained from 15 years of or more of work on this, being in this house for circulating, helping to circulate the heat. I'm sorry it's a little out of focus. I'm going to try to get one in focus here. There we go. You can see kind of up close what they look like. And a little pin here for the whole shaft. Gets very sticky as they get older, and versus the new ones. The pins are further elongated here like they should be, and I can pull it barely with one hand. They're pretty stiff springs inside of those. Anyway, these are my 3 spares. Just trying to give you an up close view of how they're a little different than the old ones in color anyway, but found these online. I think the whole cost was maybe around $250 for replacing them all, plus a few spares. Give you an idea of how they look on the inside. You know, the tip here is a little different, but it all seems to work the same. Got this little screw at the top of the head here. The ones on the new ones are much bigger screws in comparison, you can kind of see. But once you open them up, they work the same way. There's a little spring deep inside here, and a couple clips, one above the spring, one below it, I think. An O-ring too, to help, a little tiny one that also breaks, causes problems as these things age. But that was one of the fun projects we had here this summer, is getting this all replaced. So everything should work a lot like new again. We'll know soon when the weather changes. Starts getting a little chilly here. We'll give it a good test run beyond just the one little partial zone we tested out. Make sure everything's working correct. But that was it for changing our valves in the manifold.